Let's look at some of the Star Wars figures that didn't make it to the Power of the Force card, but almost did. Welcome back to the Junkman, everybody. It's me, the Junkman, coming back at you with a brand new video. Can you believe it? Another video already? Spoiling you guys, aren't I, with a video a day. Maybe even 2 videos a day. But don't worry, we might miss a day here or there. What are we going to talk about today? Well, we're going to look at the planned action figures that we're going to move over from the previous Star Wars lines, Star Wars, Empire, Return of the Jedi, and make it on the Power of the Force card. But sadly, they didn't make it because Kenner canceled the line. I always get the email when I'm trying to do video. If you didn't know, with each new movie, action figures would move over to the new film. So Star Wars figures moved over to the Empire Strikes Back logo. Then the Empire Strikes Back and the Star Wars figures moved over to Return of the Jedi line. So when the Return of the Jedi line, not only did you have Return of the Jedi action figures, you had Empire Strikes Back and Star Wars figures. So, in 1985, with the launch of the Power of the Force figures, Kenner's plan was, of course, to move all those previous figures over to the new card. However, as most of you know, the Power of the Force line didn't really sell well and the line was canceled. Of course, there were 15 new figures to the Power of the Force line. 15 Power of the Force figures, not 17. But we're going to look at those previous figures that didn't get released on the Power of the Force card and show you what they would have looked like. How we know which ones would have crossed over? Well, if the line was successful, all of them probably would have crossed over. That's the way Kenner's been doing things. But in 1985, we got to look at a Kenner catalog that showed the upcoming Power of the Force release. And in this catalog, it shows some figures that didn't ever make it to the Power of the Force card. And that's the ones that we're going to look at. Now, in the release of the Power of the Force line, there were 22 figures that moved over from the previous cards to the new cards. However, when the line was canceled, 20 more was about to be added to the rotation. And that's what we're going to look at today. Now, before we get started with that, if you want to help support this channel, head over to Patreon. Links right up there in that little circle or in the description below. If you want to support this channel another way or both ways, head over to thatjunkman.com and buy some cool t-shirts. Like my Space Giants t-shirt. That's right, it's one you can buy at Junkman.com. Thatjunkman.com, that is. Now let's talk about the Power of the Force line. Now, as many of you probably want to see my beautiful face throughout this whole video, you're not going to get to. We're going to focus on the photos. Now, a lot of these photos are prototypes, so they might have looked a little different when they got released. Also, you'll notice that the bubbles may be a little different here, or the coin may have nothing to do with the figure at all. Again, these are just test photos. In fact, some of the cards we look at will not have a figure at all, being they're just proof cards. So, let's go look at what we didn't get on the Power of the Force line. First up, we have Luke Skywalker in his indoor outfit, Halt gear. On this card, it's a little different because the picture of Luke on the Tauntaun has been reversed. Here's a look at his Empire Strikes Back card, and you can tell Luke is sitting on the other side of the Tauntaun. For some reason, they decided to flip the logo. Next up is a proof card of a Hoth Stormtrooper. We would have got the Hoth Stormtrooper with a coin and on the card. Now, one reason we're looking at this is because I always love the look of the Power of the Force card. Now, of course, the original movie releases were a nice card also, but something about these Power of the Force cards I really do enjoy, and seeing some of the figures we didn't get, I really like looking at. Here's another one we didn't get, but almost did. That's an Ugnut. That's right, the last time you could buy an Ugnut was on the Return of the Jedi card. Sadly, we never got this release here. And here's one with figure, a 2-1B. That's right, we didn't get 2-1B on the Power of the Force. If we did, this is what it would look like. And another one that I would probably love to have on Power of the Force card, because it's one of my favorite Star Wars vintage Kenner figures, Princess Leia as Bosch, in her Bosch outfit for Return of the Jedi. Wished it would have crossed over the Power of the Force, but if it did, I probably wouldn't have it anyway, because by the time the Power of the Force came out, I didn't know anything about it. I moved on, and if I got it now, it'd probably be too expensive for me to afford. And we got Lando here crossing over the Power of the Force. As you can see, this test photo has this is a nice card, although the picture of Lando looks a little washed out. I think they would have picked a better photo with a better color detail. And here we are, we have Dengar right here, and you can see a little bit of the arm of IG-88. Again, a nice looking card, and this would have been nice to see all the bounty hunters released on the Power of the Force card. Another bounty hunter figure we didn't get, this is a little small photo, sorry about that, not a really good detail, is Zuckuss. That's right, Zuckuss. Not Forlom. Kenner didn't make a mistake. Zuckuss. If you think Kenner made a mistake, please watch my video about the mix-up between the two figures. Next up is the other bounty hunter on a beautiful looking proof card of IG-88. That would have been really nice to have, and it looks like some collector named Rob Johnson does have it in his collection. That lucky son of a bitch. And another proof card of Princess Leia, going back all the way to the original release. Princess Leia in her white outfit here would have been on the Power of the Force card. Here's another Power of the Force card that we didn't get, Prune Face. Now, a lot of people don't know, Prune Face is part of the Rebel Alliance, as you can see here. You can see him in the movie on Endor, and mostly you can see him and his friends in the Rebel briefing before going to Endor. A lot of people just assume he's an alien in Jabba's palace because he's so damn ugly. Next up, with teeth, we have Lando on card. They actually have the coin with him in this proof card, and it's pretty wrinkled up down the corner. It would not get a good grading. Next up is probably my personal favorite. I would have loved to have this on the Power of the Force card, and it looks beautiful right here with the orange back and the blue sky and everything. It's Boba Fett, everyone's favorite bounty hunter. Who wouldn't have loved to have this on a Power of the Force card? With Boba Fett being one of my favorite, it would have been kind of cool to have him on every logo. Although, again, I probably couldn't afford it because I damn sure can't afford him on the Star Wars logo. And here's another one that looks really good. I really like the look of this one. I like the green, the Tusken Raiders. You can see here the bubble is probably taken from another figure and just glued on so we can see how it looks. It goes up a little too high and almost covers the edge of the coin. I think this one actually looks good for a kind of a boring figure, but the thing that's kind of funny is if you just glanced at it, it looks like FX7 is smoking a cigarette and some smoke coming up from a cigarette he's holding. But it's not, it's just FX7 being all cool on a Power of the Force card. And then next up is one that's kind of bland. It's just the Cloud Car Pilot. Now Kenner really should have released this with the Cloud Car, being that you needed two of them, and why would you want to buy two of these if you didn't have to? Next up, another bounty hunter from The Empire Strikes Back, and would have looked great on a card. That is Bosk. And here he is on the proof card, and looks very good here. Let's see what else we got next. And now here's a proof card of the would-be Bespin Luke Skywalker. As you can see here, they went with the peeking around the corner looking at you photo for the card. Next up, this one here, I think I like it better than the Return of the Jedi card. That's the Royal Guard. Again, not one of my personal favorite figures, not one that I would have bought a ton of as a kid. Did have him, but seeing it on the Power of the Force card, I actually think it might look better than the Return of the Jedi card. Next up, this one here I really like. Also, something about this one really grabs me, and I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's the red on green, but it's Greedo. This is one I would love to have in my collection if it was released. And we have one more to look at, and this one here is kind of an odd choice. As Kenner was trying to bring new life into the line, they planned to release a Glenn Miller's Orchestra on a Power of the Force card, but for some reason changed their mind. If you ask me, that was overkill for this line. It didn't need to start bringing in folk heroes from America onto the Power of the Force line. Anyway, that's a look at the 20 previous Star Wars action figures that didn't cross over to the Power of the Force line. I want to thank you for watching. We'll be back very soon with another video. Tell me in the comments below, which one of these figures would you love to have had on the Power of the Force card? I would have loved to have Greedo or Boba Fett for sure. Till the next video, remember to subscribe to the channel, ring that bell so you know when I post a new video, leave a comment, and always hit that thumbs up, or as my son likes to tell me to tell you, smash the like button, whatever that means. That way YouTube knows you're liking my videos, and we'll be back very soon with a whole new video. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.